Of all the things you do, these are actually the one I'm most excited about because I just love these fiberglass campers. I love their weight. I love their durability, their reliability. So tell us all about
Yeah.
these. Hi everyone, welcome back to our next video. We are here at Wasatch Overland with Aiden. Hi Aiden.
Hello.
And we just shot a video introducing them, and so you should go check that out. But now we're going to go through the shop and look at all the products they put together and have for you. We're starting here with just a high top install. So this is a used Econoline, and
Yep.
you only work on Econolines and Expresses.
Correct. Yeah. We only put high tops on Econolines and Chevy Expresses. We do work on Transits and Sprinters, but hardly as much as we do on Econolines and Expresses.
You do put them on
We
Vanagons,
do, yeah.
probably not a lot.
Yeah. Yep. So we can install a high top. It's not made by the same manufacturer, but we can put a high top on a Vanagon.
Okay, so this one just came in, and how long does it take to put this on?
So this was a pretty simple install. We put a max air fan on it. We did not do any solar or side windows. He came in at 8 o'clock. We're now at 20 past 11 and we're just stickering it up to show the new external height. So everyone gets an external height sticker on the windshield. Pretty soon here I'll do a full walkthrough and we'll make sure everything's looking good. But typically it's 3 hours for a high top install. It can take a little longer if a client turns up with beds in the back that we need to empty out or headliner that we need to pull down. But if someone turns up with bone bare back to the steel van, 3 hours, we can do a high top. We also remove other brands' high tops. So if someone is not happy with a certain feature of someone else's high top or pop top, we'll also remove those and put one of our high tops on.
So kind of run us through this particular high top and what he paid and what you did.
Yeah, so this is our regular body Ford high top. We class this as our 24-inch high top. In a Ford, it allows for 6'4.5" standing in the rear, 6'2" at the front. That is with a stock floor. Of course, if you add more floor and insulation, then that does get reduced. We added the max air fan, and then with our current promotion, the client got $300 off because he came up from New Mexico. So out of the door, he is at $6,250 for the top, and then $695 for the fan installed. This particular high top on the inside has got our raw fiberglass finish, but we did pre-wire it for light and for fan. Yeah, this is just our kind of standard top on a Ford Econoline. So this is the raw fiberglass finish on the inside. This is ideal for someone that wants to add their own insulation or they're not too worried about the aesthetics off the get-go. We have always added the wooden reinforcement around the outside. It also has wooden reinforcement in the ceiling here so that if someone wants to add upper cabinets, they're more than welcome to. They can add solar on the outside if they choose not to go with our solar panels. And then we also offer this as a white finish on the inside if that's something that a client wants, or we can go into the insulation options where we have two various insulation options. This client asked for it to be pre-wired. So he's got a wire drop for a light, wire drop for the fan, and the wire exits back here so he can tap that into any electrical system that he decides to put wherever. These tops weigh about 170 pounds.
That's really light.
Yeah, so when we go outside in a bit, you see me lift one up by one person. It's super light, and we take about 70 pounds of material out. We hand lift them on, so we don't use any mechanical force. It takes 4 of us to lift it, but only because of its size, and it's kind of cumbersome to lift.
Right.
But in theory, you know, 2 people could lift it on here. Then when we seal it down, we use about 280 screws coming from the outside. That all gets butylled and then marine sealant. And so all of these screws are what are holding the top on, and then those screws are sealed from the outside with marine sealant and butyl. And then this is the skeleton of the van. So this is your weight bearing section. We don't cut into that. So if ever you wanted to build a bed platform up here, you're not putting any weight on a flexible roof. You're going on to the skeleton of the van. This is the main structure. So max air fan is in and sealed. This is the 7500 model. So this is remote controlled. 10 speed, air goes in, air comes out. You can leave this open while you're driving. You can leave this open when it's raining.
So next we want to talk about your Tufport campers.
Yeah.
And of all the things you do, these are actually the one I'm most excited about because I just love these fiberglass campers. I love their weight. I love their durability, their reliability. So tell us all about these.
Yeah. So these are made by Tufport in British Columbia. They're based off of their medical transportation unit. So the idea is it's an ambulance. So it's been crash tested and road tested for ambulance usage. One of their largest clients is like the Canadian Red Cross. So you'll see these out in the oil fields, out in the First Nations. They just get used a lot. They come to us completely empty, and then we build them into campers. Or we can supply them completely empty like this one, and you can build a camper yourself. So all of them come with a door window, and then we added side windows, glass sliders, and then a pass-through window. This model is called the T76, and so that number is the interior height in inches. 76-inch interior height, and then this one is 72 inches long, and this one is made for a 6.5-foot bed. So on your truck, on a full-size truck, you typically get 5.5 foot, 6.5 foot, or 8-foot beds. We don't do them for 5.5 foot, but we can do 6.5 foot and 8-foot lengths for those truck beds. This is ideal for someone that wants the maximum living space with minimal weight. This weighs about 750 pounds. We can sleep up on the overcab. We can do beds down the length. We can do beds across here. Completely waterproof. We've turned one of these upside down, put an outboard motor on it, and then took it down the Fraser River to prove how waterproof they are.
That's waterproof there.
Yeah. Now, it didn't have a fan in it, but it shows how waterproof they are.
Right.
And so an extruded aluminum version of a camper won't have that kind of water seal. And even some of the ones that are sort of panels that are more of a modular type thing where you've got corners where panels meet together, again, you're not going to have that tight seal of one piece of fiberglass.
And fiberglass will never rot or disappear.
No, at the end of the world, once steel is rusted and concrete has given way, fiberglass will still be there. You'll find boats and Tufport Hightops and slide-ins. Fiberglass will never ever break down because of the resins. Cost $14,750, and then we add windows, we add fans, that kind of a deal.
Okay.
So as it's sitting right here, $15,750.
Still, you know, that's for something that's going to last forever.
Forever.
That's impressive.
And you can transfer it from truck to truck. So we can put this on your 2002 Chevy, and if that craps out and you want a newer truck, you can buy a 2024 Tundra and it'll fit on that.
So now we're inside one of the vans, and you put this high top on, is that right?
Correct. This van came to us as a regular body Chevy cargo. So no windows in the sides, just a plain Jane steel van. We cut the roof off, put a high top on, and then built the interior to the client's specifications. He is from South Carolina, and he wants to use this for transporting his wakeboarding and his fishing gear. So we made sure that we've got actually 2 hot and cold shower ports in here externally. This will actually make into an expandable bed, which will be, in total, it'll be 75 inches in length once all said and done. He's got a nice large galley with storage, fridge. He also has a small little area for his porta potty that he wants to keep. He will be building in his own electrical system, so we left this completely open for him. And then over in this side, we've got 23 gallons of fresh water, and then that full hydronic system, which produces hot water and hot heat, like air heat, all from the fuel of the fuel tank. So we drop the fuel tank, and then we tap into that and then put the fuel tank up. Mm-hmm. He also has a Cruise and Comfort rooftop air conditioning unit. And then we upgraded it with our slat ceiling, which is what we're in the process of finishing up right now. And so we've got a couple more days left on this to wrap up the few odds and bits and pieces on it. But that is this interior build.
So now we're going to do a shop tour.
Yep.
We'll just start right here. It looks like the electronics.
Yeah, so this is what we call the Panel 80. This is designed for the Land Cruiser 80 series. This fits behind a stock panel in the rear quarter mount area, so kind of above the rear passenger wheel on a Land Cruiser 80. This is a full red arc 2000 watt 50 amp charge system that we've managed to squeeze into this space, and we call this the Black Ops edition. And so everything on here, basically you can switch all of your lights, your fans, everything will have one controller to control all of that. And this is alternator charging as well as solar charging. This particular one's going to have a 300 amp hour battery and then a 2000 watt inverter.
So, but you're basically building a custom solar or electrical for every rig that comes through.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, we have our proprietary solar panels, and then we only use red arc components on our interior builds and for what anyone ever needs. These are our cabinet building tables. We keep these as flat as possible. These top spoil boards we replace about every 3 months just to make sure that they stay flat. And then we have 2 CNC machines running. This is a 4x8 machine. And so right now this one's cutting 1/2 inch HDPE. And then our 5x10 machine. This one's being set up right now for a drag knife. So we've been cutting very thick. This is marine cardboard. So 2 CNCs. And then we have the vacuum forming machine in the corner that we use for making unusual plastic shapes. Over here we have the metal fabrication shop where we do TIG and MIG welding.
Okay, so this is the upholstery shop.
Yeah, anything fabric wise is made up here by Ryan, our upholsterer.
And so you are a Webasto sales and service dealer.
That's correct, yeah. So one of the largest for this region of Northern America. And we install Webasto, typically the STC 2000 or the Evo 40, depending on the client's needs. We really love the Webastos because they have a Bluetooth interface, so you can control it by your phone. You can set timers on your phone, but one of the things as an installer that we really like is being able to look into the back end of the electronics. So it has the capabilities of sending a diagnostics report straight to me. And so I can tell if there's an issue with the heater, what that issue is, and then we can get that resolved remotely. When we do Webasto installs, we drop the fuel tanks. And so if it's an Econoline, we drop the entire fuel tank. We put a fuel standpipe into typically the hat of the fuel pump, and then we remount that fuel tank. So we have to drain the entire tank of fuel. So we've got a tank that we drain that into, and then put the tank back up. Then we install the heater and power it off 12 volts, and then you've got fantastic heat that is controllable and diagnosable through an app.
So a lot of my audience are running around with Chinese clone heaters, and this is what they're cloning off of.
Correct, yeah. And so Chinese diesel heaters, I think there's a place in the market for them until they fail. And
which is soon.
We've seen some failures and they're horrific. We've also heard success stories that are, I've had this for 7 years, never an issue, and that's awesome. What we like is the fact that we're going with a brand that we have significant relationship with, that if ever there was a warranty issue, it's a phone call, it's getting it fixed. And so that's why we're a service center for them.
And so how much is it going to cost me if I come in and have one installed?
So a typical install on a Webasto in either a Chevy or a Ford Econoline is about $2,900. That is the unit, as well as dropping the tank, wiring it in, tapping into the fuel system, putting the tank back up and making sure that it's ran for a couple of hours before the client even picks up. And then walking through the client, the app, and registering it and all that kind of stuff as well.
It's a lot of money, and I know people that are just going to really balk at that, but
and that's fine.
Yeah, and it's fine. That is a lot of money, no question. But boy, it's something that in the long run, it's the old adage, cry once.
We say do it right or do it twice.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So you have a proprietary solar panel that you use.
Yeah.
And it's flexible, and they don't usually last long.
So we've been installing, Lensun Solar makes these for us. Lensun's been around for years and years. You've probably seen their ads for the hood solar panels. Well, I reached out to them 5, 6 years ago and started work on our, what we call the donut solar panel. And so this fits around a max air fan when it's on the roof of a van. We never have any issues with them whatsoever. This one puts out 125 watt.
That's
and
amazing.
Then we also have 240 watt and 350 watt panels. So if someone came to us with an extended length Ford Econoline van, we can get 465 watts of solar on the roof without you even being able to see it from ground level. So we use VHB tape in particular places on the underside. We then put a stainless steel screw through the 6 holes,
Right,
just to help make sure that it's not moving. And then we put a bead of marine sealant across the leading edge, just to make sure that debris doesn't get underneath.
and they hold up.
They certainly do.
You've been selling them for 5 years, and
Yep.
you would know.
So actually both of these
Oh.
are hood solar panels. That's for a Ford Econoline.
Oh, so it's designed for a specific, but it
Yep.
could fit almost on anything.
Well, if you go onto Lenson's website, they have specific solar panels for pretty much any vehicle.
Well, Aiden, we've really looked around, and you've seen all the stuff you do, and I think we've only touched the surface.
Really, we have. Yeah, you could spend a couple of days here easily going through all the little things that we do here. Yeah, that was a good overview. Looking at it from 30,000 feet, that was probably pretty good.
My audience has stuff that they would love for you to do.
Call us. The worst we can say is no, or we're
Yeah.
booked out too far. Keep that in mind, that we do book out quite a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, always give us a call or drop us an email. On our website, we've got a bunch of contact us type forms everywhere that kind of just directly emails to us. All emails are answered within 12 hours and phone calls are usually answered immediately.
If you want to buy the good, highest quality, best stuff, this is the place to go.
Appreciate that.
This is the place to go.
Thank you.
So folks, if you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you on the next video.